Okay. Dual swords. In my opinion, it's got to be one of the more jankier weapons that I've used in my career playing this game. Let me give you the main premise of what the weapon is. It's a boss shop from Courtyard, Priscilla's his name, and dual swords have a 10% drop chance. On paper, this weapon is absolutely amazing, but in reality, eh. I mean, here, let me go down with through the details. It has a 2-charge dashing move, and if you use it with any speed enhancing accessories or skills, it can cover a large distance depending on how much speed you have, and it deals some heavy slash damage to a group of enemies. Another move is puncture. The grounded variant deals a solid amount of damage and causes the hit target to bleed a little bit as well, just making them bleed. But if you use it at max jump or higher, it causes your character to do an aerial variant of the move. And during this variant, you stab an enemy while sitting on their back and deal a good amount of pierce damage. However, if you go even higher, there is a limit by the way. If you go any even higher, you could scale that damage based off of height and do even more damage. You could do up to 30 damage with that. Then we have the backflip. It gives brief iframes and shoots out 2 slashes that travel in a straight line to the nearest enemy. And if you do want some actual information with genuine numbers and statistics and all that, you could look at the Trello or this video right here from Nephew, however you say that. Big fan, by the way. These two have like genuine showcases and how the abilities work, what damage they do, what builds to use. So don't take anything in mind from me, cause wait. Okay, maybe take this video in mind, but don't take any like damage and all that stuff that I say. Don't take any of that from me. But look on the Trello, look at this video, look at other builds, maybe even join the Discord, maybe even play for yourself. I don't know. Maybe test things yourself. Just don't take a lot from me. Don't just go experiment. Have fun. This game, just have fun. Whatever. Okay, so using my beautiful drawing skills here, I'm gonna give you guys a visual representation of what my theory is. So first, obviously, you gotta find your victim here. So here's my drawing of a dark copper, and then here's me with the dual swords, obviously. So what you want to do is find your victim, and then you gotta use whatever means to get height on it. I mean, you can use evasive maneuver, get up, or like you gotta get up there somehow to get that extra scaling, right? And basically, what I think happens is by the time you use the aerial variant of puncture, there's this small hitbox that comes out of your character, like a small hitbox that goes down and detects if there's any enemies below the player. And if there are enemies, you teleport to them. But if you were to use it in another spot, for example, and it misses, but you're so over the enemy, the hitbox isn't going to detect that enemy over there. So it's really weird because you would think that the hitbox and the player model would be the same. You would think that the two hitboxes would be connected. So if I use the aerial variant, whatever enemy I hit while I'm moving would be connected to me. I would immediately go on them and do the puncture. But as you've probably seen if you have used this weapon, it does not work that way whatsoever. That hitbox is not connected to your avatar. So it is a little weird to use. Because is whenever you use the aerial variant, is that hitbox that really detects where the enemies are and makes you teleport. So trying to land onto an enemy while mid pierce really does not work that well at all. Yeah, I can sympathize with all of you dual sword users out there because obtaining this weapon and using it and finding out how hard it is to just use the weapon in general, especially with its kit, it was hard. It was like genuinely, this is my first weapon. I love it. I still love it actually. I do try to learn it, but it is really hard to use this thing and not get mad at it. Okay, for a more in-depth analysis, I will be showcasing what exactly I mean by this. Didn't understand what I meant by the drawings. I do understand my way of explaining things are a little like off because I suck at explaining things, you know? Sure, everyone has a problem with that. But we're gonna be going to Slime Cave and then I'll be showing this off what I mean by the hitbox. Alright, so as you can see, we have a slime here. And here's the idea. So I'm gonna be using the aerial variant of puncture and then using evasive maneuver to move myself away. So when I go extremely high up in the air, I use puncture and then dash away. And in theory, from a normal person's perspective, you would think that if I dash away mid puncture animation, I wouldn't be able to hit an enemy. But if you watch this clip, see what I mean? I just kind of fling into, like, I just get flung basically. So I do try it again. So I would go up extremely high in the air and then use puncture and try to dash away with evasive maneuver, but I just get flung again. So it's a little crazy how it works, but when you use the aerial variant of puncture, there has to be an enemy under you or else you won't connect the hit. That hit won't connect unless there's an enemy below you. Oh yeah, and there's another problem that I have with this weapons kit. On the dash, surprisingly, there are no iframes mid-dash. So if you happen to get hit by a projectile mid-dash, I'm saying mid-dash, if you get hit by projectile or an enemy mid-swing, you're gonna get hit. It's a guaranteed hit. Zero iframes on that at all. I would think that there would be some iframes, but no iframes. And you are prone to get stuck under certain obstacles under the map and under stairs and stuff. So do be wary when you're using this weapon and try to stay away from like stairs, ramps, and like a bunch of areas where there's blocks that aren't fully connected. So just be really careful when you use this weapon, slashing dash, because in the past there were a lot of incidents where people would be stuck outside or inside of the map. That's all I really have. That's all the problems I really have with this weapon here. Slashing dash is a little janky. Aerial pierce is pretty friggin' janky, yeah. But overall, it's a pretty decent weapon. Like I know I said that it's but I don't think of it as good. I don't think of it as bad. So necessarily, I think that it's a decent weapon. But to give it to a starter, I wouldn't suggest that. I really wouldn't suggest that.